For decades, you've been sold a lie wrapped in awkward commercials, hidden in shameful whispers, and sealed with a resignation that says, "This is just what happens." That after a certain age, your vitality, your virility, your morning confidence is supposed to fade into memory. What if I told you that your body's own blueprint holds the key to rewiring that story? That the difference between resignation and revival might not be in a prescription bottle, but at your fingertips. Tonight, we dismantle the myth. We're talking about real, accessible, natural power. The title of our talk is The Urologist's Guide: 3 Secret Pressure Points to Boost Morning Erections After 60. This isn't magic. It's biology meets ancient wisdom, backed by clinical insight. We are going to engage your body's innate systems because the truth is, your best years are not behind you. They're waiting within you to be awakened. Let's begin by completely redefining what that early morning signal truly represents. It is not merely a random physiological event, nor is it solely a sexual barometer. For the man over 60, a consistent, robust morning erection is, in fact, one of the most sophisticated and honest health diagnostics your body possesses. Think of it as your internal dashboard's most vital gauge, giving you a nightly readout on systems you cannot consciously control. This phenomenon, medically termed nocturnal penile tumescence, is a complex orchestration conducted during the deepest phases of sleep. Its presence tells a powerful story of integrity, of circuits and pathways functioning as nature intended. First, it is a direct indicator of optimal neurological health. During REM sleep, your brainstem sends powerful, involuntary signals down the spinal cord, bypassing the conscious mind entirely. These signals are a test of the autonomic nervous system, the body's automatic wiring. If these signals are being generated and received, it means the essential communication highway between your brain and pelvic region is open, unobstructed, and firing with precision. It tells you that the fundamental neural spark, the very command for arousal, is alive and well. This is crucial because it separates psychological factors from physical ones. While anxiety can impact wakeful desire, it cannot stop these deep sleep commands if the hardware is intact. Second, it is an unparalleled test of your vascular system. An erection is, at its core, a hydraulic event. It requires arteries that are supple, elastic, and capable of dramatic dilation. It requires a robust inflow of blood and a delicate, temporary management of outflow. The fact that this happens spontaneously, night after night, is proof that your endothelial lining, the fragile inner layer of your blood vessels, is producing ample nitric oxide, the master molecule of vascular dilation. It is evidence that your arteries are clear and responsive. In many ways, this nightly test is more sensitive than a standard blood pressure cuff. It's a direct assessment of microvascular health in a critical bed of tissue. A decline here is often one of the earliest whispers of systemic vascular changes long before other symptoms arise. Third, it is a window into your hormonal landscape, specifically the rhythmic, pulsatile release of testosterone. Your body's testosterone production follows a distinct circadian rhythm, with peaks often occurring during the late night and early morning hours. This hormonal surge synergizes with the neurological signals of REM sleep, creating the ideal biochemical environment for that morning manifestation. Therefore, its reliable presence suggests that your pituitary gland is effectively signaling your testes, that your testosterone production and release are following a healthy rhythm, and that your body is hormonally primed for vitality. Finally and profoundly, it is a mirror of your psychological and metabolic resilience. The deep sleep required for this process is the body's most restorative state. It is when we repair tissue, consolidate memory, and regulate stress hormones like cortisol. If you are achieving this deep, unbroken sleep, it means your stress levels are managed, your sleep architecture is sound, and your body is not stuck in a constant state of fight or flight, which directly shuts down non-essential functions like sexual response. The morning signal, therefore, is a quiet affirmation that you are recovering, that your nervous system is finding balance, and that you are metabolically poised for energy rather than mere survival. So, when we talk about engaging with this dashboard, we are not chasing a superficial goal. We are recognizing its absence as a multifaceted message, a check hinge in light for perhaps neurological traffic, vascular flow, hormonal tides, or systemic stress. To ignore it is to ignore a core vital sign, but to understand it, as we do now, is to empower yourself. It transforms the conversation from one of embarrassment or loss to one of proactive, intelligent self-care. It means you can listen to your body's most intimate report card, and with the knowledge we will share, begin to support and optimize the very systems it is testing every single night. To understand the mechanism behind these pressure points, we must first venture into a more holistic map of the human body, one that modern urology is beginning to acknowledge with growing respect. The conventional Western medical model excels at examining discrete parts: the heart, the kidney, the artery, the nerve. It sees a hydraulic system of pumps, pipes, and electrical wires. And while this model is invaluable for diagnosing disease and prescribing targeted medications, it can sometimes miss the subtler, interconnected networks of function, especially when it comes to chronic, non-acute conditions like age-related changes in vitality. This is where the ancient wisdom of meridians, or energy pathways, offers a transformative lens. Think of these not as mystical lines, but as sophisticated pre-anatomical maps of neural, vascular limb, lymphatic highways, routes of communication and nourishment that science can now begin to trace with concepts like fascia, interstitial fluid flow, and neurovascular bundles. A pressure point, in the context we are using, is not a magical button. It is a strategic access node along these highways. From an integrative physiological perspective, these specific locations are often situated where superficial nerves cross over major vascular structures, or where dense concentrations of sensory receptors lie close to the surface. They are junctions of high bioelectrical and biochemical activity. When we apply precise, sustained pressure or gentle percussion to these nodes, we are not just pressing on skin and muscle. We are initiating a cascade of intelligent reflexes. The mechanical stimulus sends a signal through sensory nerves directly to the spinal cord and, crucially, to the autonomic ganglia, the switchboards of your involuntary nervous system. This signal can act as a reset button, interrupting stagnant patterns of tension or poor circulation. The primary goal with our 3 specific points is to influence what we call the pelvic neurovascular trifecta: blood flow, nerve signaling, and smooth muscle tone. The stimulation triggers a local axon reflex, leading to the release of vasodilators like substance P, and, most importantly, stimulating the endothelial cells to produce nitric oxide. This is the same potent molecule that prescription medications work to preserve. Here, we are encouraging the body to produce its own native supply. Furthermore, the sustained input from these points travels up the spinal cord to influence the very centers in the brainstem that govern pelvic nerve tone, creating a top-down feedback loop of relaxation and readiness. We are also engaging what is known in somatics as interoception, the felt sense of the internal body. Much of the dysfunction associated with aging is accompanied by a kind of psychic withdrawal from the pelvic region, an area often associated with stress, vulnerability, or perceived failure. By deliberately, mindfully connecting with these points, we reestablish a conscious, positive dialogue with that part of the anatomy. We signal safety to the nervous system, which is fundamental for moving out of a defensive, sympathetic, dominant state, fight or flight, and into a restorative, parasympathetic state, rest and digest. Erection is a parasympathetic function. It cannot flourish under a constant barrage of stress chemicals. Therefore, this hidden wiring is both physical and informational. Physically, we are optimizing the concrete pathways of circulation and nerve conduction by targeting their most accessible control panels. Informationally, We are sending a clear, repeated message to the entire organism to open flow, to reduce guarding, and to prioritize vitality. This merges the brilliant specificity of urological science, which understands the mechanics of erection perfectly, with the systemic, network-based intelligence of traditional practices. We are not bypassing modern medicine. We are enhancing its toolkit by working with the body's own innate and often underutilized capacity for regulation and repair. You are learning to become an active participant in your vascular and nervous system health, using precision touch as your tool. So, let us be clear, the journey we have outlined tonight is a journey from passive acceptance to active authority. We began by dismantling a pervasive and damaging myth that the natural course of aging requires a quiet surrender of your virility and vitality. We have replaced that myth with a powerful biological truth. That morning signal is not a luxury. It is a sophisticated diagnostic, a nightly report on the integrity of your nervous, vascular, and hormonal systems. By choosing to listen to its message, you cease to be a bystander to your own body's changes. You become, instead, an informed interpreter of its language, equipped with the knowledge to respond not with frustration, but with focused, intelligent action. That action, as we have detailed, resides in a profound yet accessible synergy. It is the marriage of timeless anatomical wisdom with modern physiological understanding. These three pressure points, the sea of vitality, the great stream, and the grand junction, are not abstract concepts. They are strategic, physiological access nodes. They are levers you can pull to directly influence nitric oxide production, to enhance pelvic blood flow, to downregulate the stress response, and to send a clear signal of safety and priority to your autonomic nervous system. This is not an alternative to professional medical care. It is its essential companion. It is the daily, proactive maintenance that supports and amplifies any other health strategy you undertake. Therefore, what I am handing you is more than a technique. It is a ritual of reclamation. The simple 3-minute daily protocol we have crafted is the practical vessel for this new understanding. It is the deliberate, consistent act that bridges the gap between knowing and feeling, between hope and tangible result. This ritual is your personal, non-negotiable investment. It is the moment you claim each day to speak directly to your body's own blueprint for health, to reinforce those pathways of flow and function, and to build, morning by morning, a renewed foundation of confidence from the inside out. We close where we began, but with the landscape utterly transformed. The lie has been exposed, the resignation is obsolete. You now hold the knowledge that your body's potential for vitality is not locked in the past. It is wired into you, waiting to be engaged. The power to influence your health, to reignite that core aspect of your confidence, and to step into your days with a renewed sense of agency, has always been present. It is, quite literally, at your fingertips. This is not about turning back the clock. It is about owning this chapter of your life with more power, more knowledge, and more vitality than you may have thought possible. The science is clear. The method is in your hands. The decision now is yours. Press start. Thank you for embarking on this exploration with such focus and an open mind. The information we've shared is powerful, but its true power is only unlocked through your consistent application and intelligent engagement with your own well-being. If this knowledge has resonated with you, if you believe in empowering others with the same science-based holistic approach to health, I invite you to engage further. Subscribe to this channel to continue this vital conversation. We delve deeper into men's health, demystify complex topics, and provide actionable strategies for living with vitality at every age. To ensure this crucial information reaches the men who need to hear it most, friends, brothers, fathers, partners, please share this video. Break the silence, replace misinformation with understanding. Finally, your experience is the most important data point. Leave a comment below. Tell me what resonated, what questions you have, or what shifts you begin to notice. This is not a monologue. It is a community dedicated to reclaiming health with wisdom and agency. Until next time, remember, your body is wired for vitality. It's time to press start. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.